right, everyone, welcome to the August 10th meeting of the Franklin Historic Zoning Commission. This time, I'd like to call a meeting to order. The first item here is for citizen comment. This is open for citizens to be heard on any issue or concern. If you'd like to speak on a specific item on this agenda, please wait until the citizen comment period for that item. For all citizen comments, please fill out a speaker card. They are on this table to my right, your left, and hand it to staff. They'll get it to me. Come up to the microphone, state your name and address, and limit your comments to 2 minutes. Are there any citizens who want to speak about anything that's not on the agenda? Okay, I see none. Item number 1 on our agenda here is the minutes from last month. So at this time, I would entertain a motion to approve the July 13th, 2026 minutes.
Move for approval.
Okay, Michael,
Second.
thank you. Brian, thank you. Any discussion? Okay, let's vote. All those in favor of approval for the July 13th, 2026 minutes, please say aye.
Aye.
All opposed? Okay, motion carries. Thank you. Item number 2, consideration of new construction and accessory structure at 109 Everbright Avenue. Mr. Asher Paxton is the applicant. If you want to make your way up, we're going to hear from staff first. Emily.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. The property located at 109 Everbright Avenue is located in the Everbright Avenue Historic District. The proposal was recently reviewed by the Design Review Committee over the past several months. The proposal includes the construction of a large accessory structure. The design of the proposed accessory structure generally meets the intent of the guidelines, and therefore staff recommends approval of the application with conditions. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. Mr. Paxton, welcome back. Anything you'd like to add?
Nothing to add.
Okay, then we'll have you have a seat then. Are there any citizens here who wish to comment on this particular application? Okay, I see none. Let's go to the commission for a motion, please.
Move for approval with all staff conditions and considerations.
Second.
Okay, thank you. Michael and Angela, right?
Yeah.
Okay, any discussion?
Well, I'd just say we've had a lot of discussion about this, and I think the application's responsive.
Yes.
Okay,
The square footage that seemed to be the holdup, and that is now resolved.
okay,
I agree. Yes.
okay. Anything else? All right, let's take a vote. The motion on the floor is for approval with staff conditions. All those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
All opposed? Okay, motion carries unanimously. Thank you. Okay, item number 3 is consideration of alterations to a previously approved plan for new construction in the parking structure at 230 Franklin Road at the factory. Mr. Reed Talley, if you want to make your way up, we're going to hear from Elizabeth first. Please.
Thank you. The property located at 230 Franklin Road is home to the factory at Franklin and is located in the Franklin Road Historic District. This proposal is for revisions to previously approved plans to construct a new parking structure approved in June of 2025, and previously minor alterations have been approved following that initial approval. This proposal is for alterations to the west elevation. The proposal includes a request to alter the ground floor openings from 3 to 2 openings and to alter the vertical banding pattern to align with the changed openings on the ground floor on the west elevation that will face Franklin Road and Building 3. The number of infilled openings on the upper stories is not proposed to be altered with the change in alignment, and rhythm and spacing of the openings does not appear to be significantly impacted by the change in banding location. Staff recommends approval of the alteration on the west elevation with conditions. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. Mr. Talley.
Yeah, just context on the reason. There is an existing transformer right beside this area. It's going to be used as, thank you, sorry. It's going to be used as loading path, and so this was to free up some space in between the transformer and the garage column
Okay.
for loading purposes.
Okay, perfect. Thank you. We'll have you grab a seat, please. Are there any citizens want to comment on this one? Okay, I see none. Let's go to the commission for a motion, please.
Mr. Chair, I'd like to move to approve with staff conditions.
Second. Thank you, Brian and Bob. Any discussion? I think it's very similar to what we saw before, and I don't
Yeah.
think it makes anything any worse. So I feel good about it. Anything else, anybody? Okay, we have a motion on the floor for approval with staff conditions. All those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
All opposed? Okay, the ayes have it. Motion carries. Thank you. I think you're next. All right, item number 4, consideration of alterations to previously approved plans for new construction of the hotel at 230 Franklin Road, the factory. Mr. Talley will be up again after we hear from Elizabeth. Thank you.
Property located at 230 Franklin Road is home to the factory at Franklin and is located in the Franklin Road Historic District. And this is for the new hotel construction, which minor alterations have been approved for following the initial approval of this building last year. This proposal is for alterations to the north, south, east, and west elevations. On the east, the alterations proposed to the approved elevation include 2 new elevator overruns and to relocate 2 windows closer to the front facade. On the west, the alterations to the approved west elevation include 2 new windows near the front of the building and alterations to the glass cube enclosure to change the base material to glass and to remove the X cabling detail. On the north elevation, which is the rear, the alterations to the approved elevation include replacing 1 single door with a window and replacing 1 single door with a double door. The proposed alterations generally meet the intent of the guidelines. However, the alterations to remove the masonry base from the glass cube enclosure and replacing it with windows are not appropriate, as this is not a traditional placement or configuration of windows seen on the historic factory buildings. The rear window and door alterations are appropriate. Staff recommends approval of the alterations with conditions.
Okay, thank you. Mr. Talley?
Yeah, that was just a graphical oversight. The intent is not to change the base of that cubed glass. That the base is meant to be unchanged. That cloud was referring to just detailing a removal of the cross bracing. That's it.
So that cube is, show me where the base is there. So we thought that was changing just based on the graphics, but it's not. It's staying the same. Okay.
Right.
All right, thank you. If you'll grab a seat for us. Any citizens here want to comment on this application? Okay, let's go to the commission for a motion, please.
Move for approval with staff conditions.
Okay,
Second.
Michael and Brian. Any discussion? Brian?
Yeah, I'm just going to say, all those seem to be very minor changes. They seem to be practical as well, so I don't see it being a big issue.
Anybody else?
I agree with that.
I think the cross bracing was maybe a throwback to some other things on campus there. And I thought it kind of tied things to the other building, but I don't know that it's some deal breaker, but it's just a little different. And I don't mind this building being a little different because it should look new.
Yeah.
So I think it's okay. Anything else, anybody? Okay, we have a motion on the floor for approval with staff conditions. Let's take a vote. All those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
All opposed? Okay, motion carries unanimously. Thank you very much. Okay, I'm going to recuse myself from item 5 here and let Mr. Laster run this item, and I shall be back. Thank you.
So we're ready for item number 5, the consideration of alterations to the principal building at 908 West Main Street, Mapledine. Emily, I think this is yours.
It is. Let's see, I will scroll to the elevation for us to view. Okay, So the property that is located at 908 West Main Street is locally known as Mapledine and is located within the Hinchville National Register Historic District. The proposal includes a series of rear alterations. None of these alterations will be seen from the right-of-way, and the alterations generally meet the intent of the guidelines. Therefore, staff recommends approval of the application with conditions. Thank you.
All right, thank you. So who's the applicant on this? Hi, could you state your name
Yes.
and address for the record?
Yep, my name's Hunter Conley with Allard Wood Architects, 1618 16th Avenue South in Nashville. I only have one thing to add. So right there on that rear elevation where we're showing a gang of 3 double-hung windows, they're currently listed at a 6'5" height. After looking a little closer, we actually need to shorten those double hungs. They would actually look more similar in scale to the double hung to the right of the rear entry. In shortening those windows, I think it's going to help us to create a more continuous window head horizontally. They're still going to be detailed the same, still have brick mold, brick soldier course header, same seal. I think it'll actually match the context of the house a little bit better. So, I mean, in that version, we're kind of breaking the plane vertically. I'm not certain, though, if that's something that staff could consider as an additional condition or if it requires a resubmittal. We're happy to go either way, though, just regardless of what you all think. But I wanted to at least bring that up to the commission so you guys know before we take it to a vote. But we're happy to proceed either way. Here for answer any questions. So
All
that
right.
is it.
Yeah, if you would stay there for a
Yep.
moment on this.
Okay.
I'd like to entertain a motion from the board on this application.
I move to approve the staff recommendations.
I'll second.
Thank you, Bob and Angela. All right, so since we have a motion on the floor, I'd like to ask a question about the windows again.
Yep.
What size did you say you would like to reduce those to?
They would reduce those to 410.
To 410.
4'10", yes. The width would stay the same, though. And that head it'd be more continuous with what exists on the back now.
Okay. All right, any discussion? Because I think we could offer up an amendment.
Okay.
I guess my thought is there's such low visibility.
Yeah.
Visually, I actually like the larger windows because I feel like this house has kind of been, it's not kind of, it's been added onto and changed. And the different size windows to me reflect that. But it's such low visibility that I'm okay with it.
I agree with that.
Well, I think in order to do this, we need an amendment because of what we already have on the application.
Do you need Bob to amend it? His motion?
Anyone on the board can amend a motion.
Okay. Well, I'll move that we amend the motion on the floor to approve with staff conditions and the alteration of the window as shown on the submitted elevation. Does that make sense?
So on the elevation that's submitted, are you showing the 410?
Currently, it's shown as the 6'5". That is the only thing. It's shown
Okay.
as the taller version
So
currently.
So
So
then
shown
that's-
as the architect has described.
As the 410?
You want a reduction from 6 down to 4?
Yes, sir.
Okay, that's the amendment, that's what the
Yeah.
amendment said.
Correct.
And can we add to that to bring it to staff, back to staff for confirmation?
that's-
I think that would be Angela's call on that.
Okay.
I think that's always a great idea. Take it back to staff.
And for our second, are you all right with that?
I'll do a
Bob, you okay
second.
with that? All right. Okay, so let's vote on the amendment to the motion. So our amendment is to allow the reduction of the window from 6 to 410. So all those in favor of the amendment to the
And-
motion?
And to bring
And to
what's
bring it
actually
back to
built,
staff.
going to be built to staff, to
So-
make sure it complies.
So let me repeat that again. So we're going to reduce the window height from 6 to 410, and the window will come back to staff for approval. So all
Yes.
those in favor of the motion as the amended motion, say aye.
Aye.
And all those opposed? All right, so the amendment passes. So let's go back to the original motion. So the motion is amended. So all those in favor of the motion as amended, say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed? All right, the motion carries. So we can call Tyler back in now.
Thank you all.
Thank you.
Okay, thank you very much, everyone. Move on to item number 6, consideration of alterations on a principal structure and an addition and alterations on an accessory structure at 3201 Herbert Drive. Christina James is applicant, and we're going to hear from Elizabeth to start.
Thank you. The property located at 3201 Herbert Drive is a local landmark known as the John Herbert House or the Breezeway House. The site features a circa 1830 log truck cabin. The applicant attended the July 2026 DRC meeting and has incorporated feedback into the request. And this proposal includes a request for alterations to the principal building to install gutters and for alterations and an addition to the non-historic accessory structure to enclose the carport. The proposal to the principal building for alterations includes installing half-round white gutters and round white downspouts. The request aligns with the recommendations of the guidelines for new gutters and downspouts on a historic building. For the accessory structure, the proposal includes a request for an addition and alterations to the non-historic carport. A 10-foot addition is proposed on the rear of the accessory structure. Alterations include enclosing the carport with cementitious lap siding, new doors, windows, and half-round gutters and downspouts, all intended to match what is seen on the addition on the principal building. 2 new carriage-style garage doors are proposed on the front of the structure, and feedback has been incorporated into the design of the doors to appear more appropriate for the period of construction. The proposed addition is appropriately located on the rear, and the size of the accessory structure remains appropriate. The alterations to the accessory structure are compatible with the historic principal building and align with the recommendations of the guidelines for materials, windows, doors, and gutters. Staff recommends approval of the principal building alterations and the addition and alterations to the accessory structure with conditions. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. How you doing?
Good, how are you?
Good. Introduce yourself for us.
I'm Jeremiah Pack with Resurrect Construction. I'll be the contractor on this project.
Okay. Anything you'd like to add?
No, I mean, the only thing I have a question on is on the side of the garage, I put double doors. I don't know if there's some flexibility on the left side there as far as style of doors, if we could do all glass, or if we have to do like the Craftsman style 2-panel with a glass top.
Yeah, in this meeting, like whatever you show on the drawings is usually what we
Okay.
typically expect.
Okay.
And, you know, if you, like the DRC that you came to, that's the place we can kind of have more open
Okay.
discussions about design stuff. But we'll hear, we may hear some opinions on that in a minute.
Okay.
We'll see if the discussion goes that way, but, yeah, I wish I could give you more information on that. Anything you want to add? No? Okay. If y'all will grab a seat, we'll hear if there's anybody from the community that wants to speak. Nobody on this item? Okay, let's go to the commission for a motion, please.
Mr. Chair, I move to approve with staff comments.
Okay.
Second.
Brian, Michael, any discussion?
Yeah, is there a specific door that they have in the submittal that they're asking for approval of? Or
Not
just
that I've
showing
seen.
the
I see
door?
this kind of, I would call it craftsman-y style door. I think there's pictures of the existing door on the existing house, and I think there was discussion about matching something similar. But I guess their question was,
So would
is this
that be-
something go back to staff maybe?
Yeah, I think that's the way this goes from today. Whatever they pick goes back to staff, and if it's not what is approved by staff, then it would have to come to us again.
Come
probably.
back to us if staff didn't feel comfortable approving it. Yeah.
Right.
And
Any
I
other-
would think it would boil down too to how visible it is from either street. I think
Yeah.
it's on a corner.
These particular doors would face the interior of the lot. Is that my understanding? So, doesn't mean it's not visible. And then The other thing, as related to how visible is this, is we have a site plan, but I don't know where the boundaries are. Is adding 10 feet within the setbacks? I have no idea. It's a big lot, I know that, but I don't know. It could be big some other direction. I'm just not familiar with how far back it goes. But I think
Back to staff.
on the doors, yeah. And then the setback thing, I'm sure zoning will get you if something's wrong with that. But I don't think,
That's right.
I don't think we'll have an issue, so. Any other discussion here on this?
Well, does that need to be offered as an amendment?
I would think it ought to be, if somebody wants to offer it.
Do you want, I'll second it if you want to say what you said.
I'd like to amend the motion requiring the applicant to bring those double doors back to staff for approval.
Okay, is there a second?
I'll second.
Okay. Michael, give me a second to write all this down here. I got Michael with the motion, I put Brian as the second. Amend the main motion to require the side doors, side double doors, to return to staff for approval. Any discussion on the amendment itself? Okay, let's vote on that. So we're voting on the, to amend the main motion by adding that the side double doors return to staff for approval. All those in favor, please say aye. Aye. Okay. Any opposed? Okay, so now the main motion reads approval with staff conditions and the side double doors will return to staff for approval. Any more discussion before we vote on this? Okay, let's take a vote. All those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
All opposed? Okay, motion carries unanimously. Thank you. All right. Other business. Staff announcements?
We have a regularly scheduled DRC meeting next Monday. And so if any applicant would like to apply, our deadline is at midnight tonight. On Monday, September 21st at 1:30 p.m., we'll be having a special called meeting with the members of the BOMA, FMPC, and the Historic Zoning Commission to walk through the new City Hall building and site. So you all should have gotten an Outlook calendar invitation for that. If not, let us know. And then on Wednesday, September 23rd, we'll be having a special called DRC meeting to discuss the preservation plan update. So be on the lookout for an Outlook calendar invitation coming to your inbox soon. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. Any other announcements? Okay, I would entertain a motion to adjourn.
So moved.
Okay. Michael?
Second.
Angela, thank you. All those in favor of adjournment, please say aye.
Aye.
All opposed? The ayes have it. We are adjourned. Thank you.